Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a new thing that I'm starting here where I'm interviewing some other influencers. Today I'm honored to be interviewing Cora Josephine. She has 115 YouTube videos, 11.6 thousand YouTube subscribers, and a total of 1.7 million views across her entire YouTube channel, which is crazy. So, welcome, Cora Josephine.
I'm so excited to be here. That's crazy even hearing you say those numbers. I don't even
It's crazy, but I'm
it
so
doesn't make
proud. I'm
thank
so
you.
proud.
It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense, but it's it's truly awesome.
I can't wait to see them grow even bigger.
I'm s- I mean, I'm ready. Whenever they want to get me to 1 million subscribers, I'll be here waiting.
Oh, you know what? You're gonna get there soon.
I
So,
hope so. One day. One day in the future.
oh well, that future's coming soon.
I'm excited.
So, to start off, you started your channel in 2015. In a non-creepy way, I did do some research on you. Um,
I love it. I love it.
so you started in 2015. So congratulations on doing 5 years of YouTube. I just wanted to ask,
Thank you.
how did you start?
I started, a lot of people have the same sort of start as I did, but I was obsessed with Bethany Moda and Alicia Marie,
Yeah.
all of the lifestyle beauty guru YouTubers. I just wanted to live their life. So I think I just asked for I had this small little camcorder. I asked it for Christmas, and ever since I got that, I was just filming and editing all the time. I actually started my first video, I didn't intend to post it because I actually my parents hadn't allowed me to have a channel yet. It took a couple months into me filming and editing for them to actually be yeah, you can post them now. And so then I just started to post videos all the time because I had all these videos already made. So I just dropped my AirPods. That's pretty much how that started.
Wow. It's crazy actually that you say Bethany Motor because she was the very first YouTuber that I saw and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be Bethany Motor.
Yep.
That's so crazy.
Literally, I had the clothes from her clothing line. Oh, she was awesome.
YouTubers back then, like, I don't mean to, like, I'm not saying YouTubers now are bad or anything, but YouTubers back then, they're so nostalgic to watch. Like, I grew
Yeah,
up watching Bethany Motor,
absolutely.
Alicia Marie, Meredith Foster. I grew up watching all of them, so it's crazy that they influenced us enough to make our own channels.
Right. It's crazy.
So I'm guessing that Alicia Marie, Bethany Motor inspired you to make your YouTube channel. How did you ask your
Yep.
parents? Because I remember I went downstairs and I was like, I have this idea. I know you're gonna say no, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. I want to do YouTube. I'm going to be careful, but I can make money from it. Obviously, I didn't know what requirements you needed to make money, and I must have been like, I don't know, like 10 or 11 when the idea was in my head. Because I was this. Our stories are pretty similar. I was always making videos and stuff on Windows Movie Maker and using those really weird effects. So
Yeah.
things like were your parents supportive of you doing YouTube?
They were really skeptical at first. My dad has always been super skeptical about any social media, even Instagram and Snapchat. He was really I got those super late compared to other people who I was friends with, but they kind of knew I wanted to and I brought the idea to them and they told me that they needed some time to think about it. And eventually, a couple weeks later, my dad pulled me into a room. He was like, "Okay, we made our decision. You can have a channel." But he had literally printed out a list of rules for me that I had to follow, things I couldn't say, or the amount of time I could spend on this stuff. And he had a whole list of rules, and I just didn't even care. I was like, I'll do anything. Like, I just want to post videos, and that's how that started.
That's so cool. My dad is the same because my dad works in IT, so he's like, you need to be careful of what you post. You know, there are all these weird people out there, and you're
Yeah,
young, you're a female, so you're gonna get a lot of male attention. You need to make sure that you don't wear things that, well, make people talk about you because I was pretty sensitive when it came to people criticizing me. So
me
he was
too.
like, don't show anywhere, don't give away where you live, the area that you live in, make sure that you don't say anything that could cause problems, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And then he goes, don't show any of us, keep family private. And I'm like, okay, I
Right.
respect your wishes. So that's really, our parents are pretty similar on that
Yeah,
aspect.
honestly. Yeah.
So I did some stalking on your YouTube
Oh,
channel. And I saw that you have like a very warm theme in the sense that you like I could watch you for hours. I was watching you for hours. Like I was trying to get some
that's such
information
a big
about your
compliment.
channel. Like seriously, I can see why you're making the numbers you're making. I was like, this is crazy. Like literally I went on like a binge spree just watching your videos, and I just wanted to ask you about the theme of your YouTube videos because
Yeah.
I've drifted off into becoming a reaction channel, which I don't want to become, but
Yeah.
I just can't get out of it now.
Well, I first of all, I love your channel. But second, like I honestly like I feel I understand how you feel with like you're kind of going in a path you don't necessarily like. That's not like your dream, right? Like your
Yeah.
dream isn't to be like a reaction YouTuber. And I have dealt with that a lot. Like, at first I was basically just copying all of Alicia's videos or, expectation versus realities. Like it was all like scripted, like these big like I was like putting on a show basically.
Yeah.
Then slowly I got into more like kind of just being myself, like vlogging my days. But even now, sometimes I do feel like I'm not going in the path I want to. Like I don't really want to be making like morning routines like through college, like I would rather be making something that's more impactful, I guess. So that's where I try to start to switch to body positivity content. But it's hard when all your viewers are subscribed for one thing and then you
Yep.
switch to another, your
Yeah.
views are going to go down because people want to see the morning routines and the vlogs, and I want to make a video about body image, and then no one's going to watch that. So it's hard, but I think like I'm trying to just work on like taking risks and just pushing myself outside of my comfort zone.
That's really good because I see that you have a range. I mean, at the beginning, I was even I can't believe I'm going to say this. I was copying their like, especially Bethany Mota. I was copying like her intros and outros. I was copying the music that she was
Absolutely.
using, and I didn't even like. Okay, I'm going to say I didn't mean to, but it's just because I started my channel in 2016. So for me, I was like, I need to be perfect all the time. And I think Bethany Mota is perfect. So I'm just gonna copy her channel, even though people already
Right.
like know her. I'm just gonna copy her channel. And it didn't really work out the way I thought. But yeah, I mean, I definitely have to be more like you and take risks. Because I'm always scared. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna post this and it's not gonna do well. And I have to be like you.
It's scary. Yeah, it's really scary, but like honestly, like I found like if you look back at my channel, I had absolutely zero growth for 4 years. Like I was literally just posting videos. Most of the views were friends and family. Like that's what it was like for 4 years on my channel, and that was me doing the same thing. I was literally just copying Bethany Moda and Alicia and Remy. Like I was just copying their stuff. Like I would look up, music Alicia Marie uses, and then I would
Yeah.
go and download that music because it was like that. that I need to be just like her. And I saw no growth. And I actually like started to see growth when I posted like the Brandy Melville video or the Chloe Ting video, like stuff like that, where it was like out of my comfort zone, but actually like people want taking risks is usually a really good thing when it comes to making new content.
That's something I actually really admire about you, especially because going on, like you mentioned Chloe Ting, 1.2 million views. Corey, do you understand how many views that is?
It's literally, I literally I don't know how that happened. I don't know.
That's
Like, it's
crazy.
crazy.
Like, oh, I don't even know what to like. I wouldn't know how to act. Like 1.2 million. Like it's not even like it's 1,000 or 100,000. Like it's millions. Like people around the world have seen that
Honestly.
video. That's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
it was so crazy. It happened so fast, and it was like, and like I didn't even post that because I thought it was gonna get views. I just was like, oh, like this Chloe Ting thing, it looks fun. I'll just film
yeah,
myself doing it. And so like I wasn't expecting views, and then like a month after I posted it, it started to go up. I was like, what's going on?
that's the crazy thing actually about YouTube that videos from like I don't know, say for example 8 years ago start getting more views 8 years later. Like that's so crazy. And I think it's I don't know, I guess sometimes it's demotivating when you work really hard on a video and it doesn't do well. But at the same time it's like when you see it doing well, it's like wow, like okay, this is what people want. This is what people like. But I mean, I really admire you because I saw the video and I know that you're very much about body positivity. And I just want to know why it's important to you to talk about.
I think it's just so important to me because like I grew up never being like the skinniest. I was never, and like, and when I would like, and that like I struggled with that all through middle school, through most of high school. And when I started to actually learn like how to start loving my body, like I realized that like I want to share what I'm learning with other people because I don't want people to go through what I went through. And very um censored when it comes to body positivity stuff. Like most of social media is people posing and trying to make themselves look as thin as possible or something like that. So I just figured like what harm could it do to bring more like positivity around body image to my platform, like, and even not even just YouTube but like Instagram and TikTok, like those have been great in helping me like get that message out.
I love that because I I know you were saying that you weren't the skinniest. I was pretty skinny and I still am. And just as it might be harder for someone who isn't skinny or doesn't consider to be skinny, it was really hard for me because I was constantly being called anorexic and I was constantly being body shamed, but I didn't realize it was body shaming until a couple of years later because I feel like I associate body shaming with saying that someone is too big or I don't know, they aren't skinny. So when people were asking me, "Oh, don't you ever eat? Like, you're really skinny. Like, are you anorexic? Are you bulimic?" Like, I didn't realize that was a form of body shaming. And I remember that I went through a couple of years where I was trying to force myself to put on weight and just to please other people. And I'm like a healthy skinny, but I
Yeah.
was trying to make myself overeat to the point where I was feeling sick. So I know that if I saw a video like yours back then, it definitely would have helped me out. For sure, it would have helped me out.
Yeah, it's so important to like for people to understand that like body positivity is like that, it's the whole movement is like loving your body in any form that it's in, right? Like not just when you're super skinny, not just when you're bigger, or not just when you're just in the middle. Like, it's just loving your body, like, no matter what. And, like, I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. And I love that the body positivity movement has been able to reach people of, like,
Yeah,
all
definitely.
shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. I lost my notes. Oh, here we go. So, you've got, first of all, I literally love the way you speak in a really non-weird way.
I love the way you speak.
Do you
I
want to
love the
like,
way you speak.
do you want to like swap accents? Because like I get told that I sound
Yes.
too posh and I just don't like it.
I love your accent is like beautiful. It's like calming, like
But
satisfying to listen to.
thank you. You know what? I know that you have like an American accent, but I feel like because a lot of the shows that we have here are American, I don't really notice it that much. So then when I talk to someone who doesn't
Yeah.
have the same accent as me, they're like, "Oh my God, your accent." And I'm like, "What accent? I don't hear it." And I don't hear your accent. But you're literally, the way you speak is,
Right.
I love it. I
Thank you.
I want to talk about hate because I feel like someone who is getting views and is getting followers, you must have experienced some form of hate. And I just wanted to kind of ask how you deal with it and how you use the hate.
Yeah. I definitely got a lot of hate in middle school and high school. And that was even before I had really gained much of a platform. Like, I probably had around 200 or 300 subscribers maybe for most of middle school, and the beginning of high school. But people loved to, I think anyone who's on social media, like, goes through that, where you're basically putting out content for people to use against you. Like, if I wasn't posting videos, they couldn't, what are they going to make fun of? Like, my Instagram pictures, like, fine, whatever. But, like, I'm putting out these, like, 8-minute videos, and people have 8 minutes to, like, 8 minutes of footage to, like, use against me. And that's just kind of how it felt. The beginning of high school was really tough, and I started going to therapy because I started having, like, panic attacks at school because of, like, some of the reactions I was getting from my classmates. And honestly, I realized once quarantine started, I realized that what was holding me back, was what other people thought of me. And because we were in quarantine and I wasn't seeing anyone, I started posting content that was more like the Chloe Ting. I probably would have never posted a video of me working out, before, if I was still in school. And that happened to be what got the most views. And so I just kind of realized, like, it was sort of just like, it was what other people thought of me was holding me back. And I don't want to let other people's words, like, stop me from, like, gaining success. And so I just decided, like, you know what? Like, I'm going to stop caring what other people think, because if I care what they think, that's only going to harm me more. And so I might as well just ignore it and like use that to fuel me to work harder.
I love that. I mean, I don't love the fact that you were getting bullied and stuff. Definitely not something that I love. But I love the fact, I think that quarantine was definitely a blessing in disguise for smaller influencers or aspiring YouTubers because we didn't need to go into school or university and see people who might bully us and make fun of us for having a YouTube channel or trying to make something of our lives. I mean, I had a girl in my
Right.
class who would post cover videos of her singing, and that was her YouTube channel, and she told me about it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll subscribe, I'll support you." And my class found out about it, and they would put her videos on the interactive whiteboard in front of everyone and make fun of her in front of her. And I was so terrified. I was like, I can't make my channel. I can't tell people I want to do YouTube now. So I had to wait until year 11 until I left. Then I was like, I'm not going to see these people again, so I can do YouTube. So
Right.
I made my channel, and unfortunately, I had to go back. and some people were saying stuff to me, and obviously at the time I wasn't getting paid, and I'm still not getting paid for YouTube, but they didn't know that. So I'd be like, oh well, your views are going straight into my bank account, so whatever. And
Period.
literally it like never again, never heard from them. But I was
I love that. That's honestly, that's crazy that you mentioned that the girl at your school, her video got put on the interactive board. The exact same thing happened to me my freshman year of high school, and it was probably the most traumatizing thing I've ever experienced. Like, the teacher had left the room, they went up to her computer, pulled up one of my videos, and after that, I had a whole time period where all my videos were, I didn't talk in them. Like, if you go back a couple years ago, there's like, I did like a hairstyle video, and the whole thing is just me doing my hair with music because I didn't want people to be able to like make fun of how I was talking or things like that. And like, I feel horrible for that girl in your grade because I can't even imagine, like, at the time I didn't post singing stuff because of a fear of people would play me singing, which is like a really vulnerable thing to do.
yeah.
And like, that's so, people are so mean.
I just
People can be so
I felt so bad for her because she like looked at me for help, and I was too scared because I was the quiet girl in my class and I wouldn't really talk. I was pretty shy up until maybe like year 9 when I was like, I want to be confident. I'm tired of being quiet and letting people walk all over me. But it was unfortunate that when she looked at me, I like just couldn't look at her. I was so embarrassed for her and I felt so bad. But she ended up deleting her channel. That's how bad it was. And she made a new one. She was like, oh, I made a new one. And she never told me what it was. I feel like she might think that I was the one who told the rest of the class about her channel, but I
um,
didn't. But I felt gutted
right.
for her. And I was like, I can't believe this. I mean, most of the people making fun of you, they don't have the guts to put themselves on the internet and let millions and billions of people judge them. Like, I just,
Exactly.
I felt so bad for her. Her whole mood, I was like, I felt so sorry. I felt so guilty for not helping her, but it was, uh,
It's hard, like, what do you, like, no one in my class really had the guts either, to go up there, and I didn't blame them. Like, everyone was just in shock. Like, it's just shocking to see that people would like make fun of someone like that.
it was, it was heartbreaking. I didn't even know what to say to her after that. I couldn't look her in the eye. I was like, I'm, I'm so sorry that these people treated you like that. I mean, I was bullied I was bullied at school, but not because of YouTube, because I kept that completely secret. Even when I went to college, no one knew about my YouTube channel. I was like, no one's gonna know about this. But I was like, it's crazy how people will judge you for doing something that they don't have the guts to do.
Right.
I want to talk about your videos that are getting more than 100K views because that
Yeah.
itself is crazy, but at the same time, it must motivate you more to make more videos.
It does. Like, honestly, seeing videos do really well. Like, after the Chloe Ting video, I was like, "Oh my God, like, I like, this can work for me." Like, I had never really gotten views like that ever. Obviously, I'd never gotten views like that before, and I was like, I didn't even know this was possible, and now it's happening. And yeah, it's honestly crazy. It definitely does motivate me, to just like push out content because you never know what people are gonna like. You never know what's gonna go viral, and you just have to try new things and see what people latch onto and what people want to see more from you.
Is there any points, probably, where you feel unmotivated, especially when you see that your channel isn't really being interacted with at all?
Absolutely. I have been in that sort of mode for honestly like 3 months now. That's how I felt because it's really hard like obviously I'm so grateful and it's so awesome that I was able to have this video with 1.2 million views. But then it's like, where do you go from there? Because no video is going to get up to that level, like for a long time probably. And it's definitely super hard. And especially like, I posted a video last week that was one of my favorite videos I've ever made, and I got like a record low of views. Like it was pretty much rock bottom. And it doesn't it doesn't affect me too much because I I loved the video and I knew, I'm not going to delete it or anything. Like it is what it is. But like you also just it's also hard just to think about like the fact that you may never get to that point again. But you have to just keep pushing, I guess, and just trying to make any content that you possibly can.
How do you come up with your video ideas? Because I used to do like vlogs and stuff when I used to travel, and then obviously Miss Rona hit, and that was the end of those. But I am currently struggling. I have video ideas in my head, but I'm like, how am I going to film these by myself? It's going to be really hard. So, do you have people that help you film, like your family members? Like, how do you do your normal filming process?
Yeah, it's definitely been like coming up with ideas is definitely hard. I have like a list, a couple lists. When I think of a video idea, I'll write it down. But it's super hard in quarantine because like I'm doing the same thing every day. So it's like I don't I feel like it's getting repetitive. Like I can't really do another morning routine because it's the exact same thing. And so I really just like I just try to like, get in the car and go somewhere and then film or, whatever. But my parents definitely help me film. When my sister's home, she helps me, but she's in college, so she um isn't home most of the time. But usually it's just me. It's usually just me and my tripod and setting it up
That's so
and
weird. I have mine
talking to
right
my
here too.
camera in room.
It's
Oh,
always
look at that.
it's
Period.
always
But yeah,
in
that's really all
reach.
it
I
is
can
for
always
me.
get to it. That's
Yeah.
great. And by the way, your parents are so
Just in
iconic.
case.
Parents are so iconic. I love your parents.
I always know if I put them in video, if I put them in a video, I know the views will probably be pretty good.
They're
So
so
they're like my
funny and
secret weapon.
iconic. They're my parents too. I love them so much. Tell them they have another daughter in the UK.
Like for real. Like I will. They'll love that.
Um, when you edit, I'm someone who likes to edit, and when I'm filming a video, I can see what edits I'm gonna put in. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
Do you enjoy
Yes.
editing? Do you do the same?
I absolutely I didn't even know other people like I thought the same way. I was like, do people even like know what I'm saying when I say that? That's literally how I feel. Like I'll be filming and I'll be like, oh, I know I'm gonna crop it there, or I'm gonna do a Ken Burns right here. Like it's gonna like I
I
literally like have this hand.
that's I feel more normal now that you've said that. Because I'd be filming and then I'd look at my sister if I did a video with my sister, I'd be like, okay, don't worry, I'm gonna do a zoom in on my face, so you don't worry about what faces you make. Right, I'm gonna zoom in on your face, so don't worry about that. And she like looks at me like, okay, whatever that means. And I'm like, okay, don't worry, in my head, I already know what this video is gonna look like.
Right. Exactly. I love that. Yeah, I do. I love editing. It's a lot of fun.
I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to do the YouTube without the editing. And I'm like, give me your videos, I'll edit them for you. I'll do it. Although sometimes I get frustrated because the video doesn't turn out the way I want it to turn out. And I'm like, I need an editor, but I'm too broke to afford one. So I need to figure it out myself. Have you had
Yeah,
days like that? I'm sure you have.
I feel that.
Like
Yeah,
people,
definitely. Like I
go on.
it's hard because it's super hard because like I can't afford an editor, but like I also don't have the time right now with school and just everything going on. Like it's really editing is like people underestimate like how much work editing a video is. Like it usually takes me like minimum 6 hours max. It could take me up to like 20 hours to edit a video. Like it's a really like picky process, and I'm a perfectionist, and I like always am like if something's not good enough I have to change it.
Yeah.
Like it's just so hard, but I do really enjoy editing. Like I think when I'm not stressed about other stuff like homework, like I would love to just sit down and be able to edit for a day. Like that sounds fun to me.
No, same. I like it's hard, especially because now everything is like online. Like before, I would be like, oh, okay, I have college 3 days a week. So I've got like 2 days where I can just edit and film and do whatever. And now I'm in university and it's like, okay, everything is now online. I don't have time. I have all these assignments with all these due dates and I don't have time to do all of this. So then I have to resort to block filming. And I'm like, oh, block filming is cool, but the only thing is it's so exhausting. And I feel like a
Yep,
lot of viewers, a lot of people who don't do YouTube, they don't understand how tiring it is and
absolutely.
how much goes on behind the camera because they only see what we put out. I mean, one of your videos could take you a couple of days to edit, and they won't know that because they're only watching it. You know, I've had videos
Right.
where I've been recording for like 2 hours and then I cut it down to 30 minutes, and it's like, you people don't realize how much of my day that I've taken just to film. And I just think, bro, I admire you so much. Like, I look up to you. I'm like, bro, if Cora can do it, I should be able to do it too.
Yeah, literally.
You also got to monetize your video. Congratulations, by the way, for that. I feel like that's such a big
Thank you. Thank
accomplishment. Does
Yeah.
monetizing your videos give you a sense of accomplishment? Like, do you feel like, okay, like I'm getting somewhere now?
It does definitely. I definitely felt like it was just it was crazy when I first got monetized. Like that's always been sort of a dream. Like what if making money off of what you love to do. But yeah, I definitely felt really good. I think I got monetized in like May, maybe April or May. And I was actually able to quit my job, which was like very exciting because and I'm very also safer because with COVID, like I didn't really want to be going somewhere for a job, and it just all worked out in that moment. Like I knew I could be supporting myself without the help of this fast food job that I was working in. And so yeah, it was definitely like really crazy and surreal, but super super motivating for sure.
Literally, that is the best thing I think I've ever heard. You quit your. I love the fact that you were like, I quit my job. Like, I'm like, you know
Um,
what? Anything that makes you money is a job, whether it's cleaning, whether it's babysitting. If you're getting paid for it, it's a job. I love that. We love a woman who likes to hustle for her own money.
period.
Um, let's see. Obviously, a lot of people don't know that getting your videos monetized, there are certain requirements that you have to meet. So I love the fact that you finally, like, I'm not gonna lie, you're probably the only YouTuber that I don't skip the adverts for because I'm like, bro, let this girl, she worked hard for it. Let her get her money. Like
That is so sweet.
I'm like, you know what? Stick those double ads on. I'll watch them both without skipping. Like, I'm like, bro, this
I
is
love that.
it's the best thing. I'm like, when you see your friends doing well, like it makes my heart so happy. I'm like, she's working hard and it's paying off, and I love that. Like, I love to see it, and it makes it more magical because it's like we didn't go into YouTube with the mentality of just making money. Like we both from a young age were already making videos of our own and editing them and
Yeah.
having fun. So making videos and editing is something that we've always loved. We didn't do it just for the money. And now that you're making money on top of doing something that you love, is literally it makes me I can't stop smiling. Like it makes me so happy. uh,
It's crazy. It's like such a blessing to me. Like it's awesome. Yeah.
it makes me so when I found out, I was like, oh my god. I was like, she's making moves. Like you're gonna start going on tour when Corona starts to settle down. Like I will try my best to afford to buy a ticket to come to the US and come to a meet and greet if you have one. Like that's
I'd
gonna
love
oh that's
I'd love
crazy.
that.
You did a partnership with Zephyl. Pretty big deal. I love Zephyl.
That
Like
was
how
crazy.
did that happen? How did that happen? That's crazy.
That was definitely the first. Like I've done a couple collaborations, but they're usually with brands that people haven't heard of. Usually just smaller companies who are just trying to get their name out there. But yeah, like right when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I made a business email and I just put it in the description of my videos. And I was like, probably not going to get any emails, but I'm just going to have it there just in case. And people will email you. Like it just started happening, and I definitely was never expecting a brand like Zaful to reach out to me. I was sitting in my bed a couple months or about a month ago, and I just opened my phone and I'm like, what? It's like Zaful? Like really? Like they know who I am? Like it was absolutely insane. It was just such a cool thing. Like it's fun to see like the business side of YouTube and like I don't know part like brands reaching out. Like it's really a cool feeling.
You don't have a manager, do you? For
No.
no. So how do you tell the difference between a real partnership or collaboration like Safol and a fake one? Because I feel like I've been scammed a couple of times.
No, it's definitely hard. There was one I so fun fact, I actually have never gotten paid for a sponsorship. It's usually just getting free products. A lot of people think like for the Zappa thing, like they're paying me, but in reality, they're just letting me have a bunch of clothes for free. Um, but I did get offered one collaboration that was like a $300, like they were gonna pay me like $300 for like talking about their company for like a minute in my video. And I had no idea if this was legit or not. I was like, why? Like, I was so confused. I had some of I basically, since I don't have a manager, I asked on Snapchat, I was like, do any of you guys have parents who like work in business and they know like marketing stuff and can read over this email? And they did. Or like, they are not like, that's not legit. Like, don't do that. And so I didn't. Um, Honestly, usually when a company reaches out, I'll just look up their company. And if their company is a legit company, then I just go for it.
That's actually really interesting. I wish I had friends that had parents that could do stuff like that for me because I literally don't really have that many friends. So for me, I was like, I'd literally be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, but you have to buy the products and then just you will give you a discount code. And I'm like, okay. And I
Oh no, that's a
did like five
scam.
of them before I saw a TikTok video that was like, they shouldn't get you to pay for anything. And I was like, good thing I always bought the cheapest item that they had. I was like, when
No,
they said that,
absolutely.
I was like, oh God. I was like,
Yeah, you should never have to pay for anything through those. The best ones are like usually because sometimes you don't want to give them like your address too, like your shipping address, right? Because like one of them that I did, like they just asked me to email them like and give them um have me give them my shipping information, which I did and it was fine. But for all the other companies I've worked with, usually they give me a discount code that will give me 100% off, so I can just go on their web free. And that way they don't have like my personal information, which like feels good. Like it feels safer to me than just like giving someone my address.
You know, that's really good to know. I'm so glad I've had this talk with you because I'm not taking any more any more companies because I like
Yeah,
I
don't
want to
pay
go
for
and broke.
anything.
Like I just it's just incredible. I'm honestly from the bottom of my heart so proud of you because one of the questions actually that your fans asked, which we'll get to a bit later, was how we met, and we literally met through a YouTube group chat.
Yep.
Like that's so
Yep.
crazy.
And I only kept in touch with like you and Ava and Jules. That's it. And there was like many people in that group chat. But
Yeah,
like we found friends. Yeah.
that's and parents always like don't make friends on the internet. You don't know who you're making friends with. I'm like most of my friends are from the
Where else
internet.
am I supposed to make friends?
Like, and
Right.
I was discussing with
Like
my
where else
mom.
am I supposed to
I was like, do you know why internet friends are so much better? Because you judge them based on their personality because you can't see them. So everything that you're
Exactly.
judging them on
Yeah.
is their personality. I'm not gonna judge someone on their appearance, which obviously we're kind of like we can't help it if we judge someone based on how they look. Obviously, if you're gonna see someone who looks a bit dodgy, a bit like a roadman, you're not gonna approach them. You're not gonna approach them. But
Yeah.
on like Twitter, it's like people are funny on there. And all my friends that I've made on Twitter and
Right.
Instagram, like they're amazing people and I've not had a fight with them or had any issues with them. So I'm like, bro, you were put in my life for a reason. Like I'm glad that we've
Period.
become friends.
Right.
Now, Miss Hostess for your podcast, The Thoughts That Rattle. How did you decide that you wanted to do a podcast?
So my friend that I do it with, she texted me one morning and was like, Cora, we should do a podcast. And I was like, okay. And that's that's literally how it started. It was like I was like, well, if you can figure out a way for us to record podcasts, like I'm down. Like, that sounds like super fun. And um me and my friend who do it, we're both like huge talkers and we just talk all the time. And so we just figured like this is a great opportunity for us to like keep communicating through quarantine and then have other people hear like what we're up to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been super fun. Like it's not like YouTube in the sense where it's like I feel like I need to get an episode out every week. Like we literally just do it for fun when we feel like recording. Yeah, it's a good time.
I've listened to your podcasts. I love them. I mean, I was never a big podcast listener. I would really only listen to Emma Chamberlain, because her podcasts are
Me
pretty good
too.
as well. And I listen to
Yeah.
yours now. Yours is a new podcast that I listen to. And honestly, it sounds so fun and professional. Do you and your friends, do
Thank
you
you.
guys get together and film and record, or do you like, wait, really? It literally sounds like you're always in the
We use
same room.
we use the Anchor app, which like allows you, I don't know if that's what you use for yours, but it basically allows you to like it's like recording your phone calls. So it's basically like we're on a phone call and then it just records it and then puts it up. So yeah, I mean I wish we could film together. It'd probably be a little more put together. But it's been cool. We usually do a Zoom and then we'll have like the Anchor app and it's just like we're talking on the phone, but now it's gonna go on Spotify.
That's so cool. I do use Anchor, but I also have like I have an app that I use, which I use to record my covers on. And I have my microphone here. Hopefully it doesn't drop everything, but I have like my microphone, and then I just sit there and I'm just
That's
like,
so
so
cool.
guys, I'm like, so this is me and whatever, and I upload it to Anchor. But that's really cool. I didn't know that I could do that. because I did have a podcast with one of my friends, and
Yeah,
obviously
it's fun.
because of COVID, it just ruined everything, and we haven't done a podcast in so long. But that's so cool. I literally
Yeah.
thought you guys were in the same room.
No, I wish.
Because if that's the case, does that mean you can do it across the world? Because I could literally just have you on an episode of my podcast.
Yeah.
Really? Oh
You
my
can
God.
literally just connect with anyone. It's crazy.
I think I'm gonna have to take a look further into this Anchor app because I just used it to upload. That's
Yeah.
crazy. If you guys haven't heard Cora's podcast, definitely check it out. Spotify, The Thoughts That Rattle. Go check it out. I'll have it linked in the description as well. So you guys go check it out. It's literally one of the best podcasts I think I've heard alongside Emma Chamberlain. Like literally you guys are in the top two for podcasts. Like I literally love it. I sound like such a beg, but I promise you,
That's so sweet.
I love it so much.
Thank you.
TikTok is taking over the world.
Period.
And I again love your TikToks. I'm such a fan of yours. Like it's I the next
Thank
step to me being a fan is just having a fan page for you. But I
you.
literally love everything you do. You're so entertaining and I feel like you're very genuine. This is the first time that we've spoken face to face
Literally.
live
Yeah.
because we
No, and I
spoke
feel like we're just friends.
exactly and I'm like, bro, like this is why I love the internet so much. I have a love-hate
Honestly.
relationship. You're one of the reasons I love the internet, but I mean, literally, guys, we would text on Instagram and then we voice noted. I was going to say that really weird, but we voice noted for the first time when we were talking about the interview.
Yeah.
And that was the first time when it was like, bro, like she's talking to me live. Like she's like talking to me live. And I just think this is so cool. Like one
Yeah,
of
it's
I don't like people, but you're one of the people I do like.
mood. Me too. I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
What do you have fun on your TikToks? Like how do you
Yeah.
plan? What do you when do you know that oh I'm gonna post this now? Because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I haven't posted and my followers are dropping, so let me just post this and then it does even worse and then I lose more followers. Like, how do you decide?
I just post so randomly on there. I love making TikTok dances. Like I could do the renegade all day. Like it is so much fun for me. I don't know why. But I'm literally just like learning TikTok dances all the time. And so I'll just post whenever I really feel like posting. I've had a couple viral videos and they're always very random and I'm like, why did that go why did that go viral? I think the first one was like me duetting Danielle Cohn, like literally the most random things. But honestly, like I just think that app is like the greatest for like getting yourself out there because like it's really pretty easy to like have people see you. Like you might just show up on someone's For You page and like I think it's such a cool platform to help people like boost their social media like platforms.
Definitely. And it's just really funny how at the beginning, like before COVID hit and all of that, people like TikTok musically, like that's so cringy. Like I would never make one. And these are the same people that have now got accounts.
Right.
It's like, well, it's crazy. And I was actually thinking about this earlier on. Okay, I'm gonna say the past year. I don't know how long you guys have been on lockdown for. We've gone into a third lockdown as of like yesterday. So this whole year for me, I've just seen people who didn't have any social media influence go from making a TikTok account and then just blowing up and making it big. And I just think that's crazy how one video that's like 15 or a minute long, like goes crazy viral and can change your
To
life.
change your life. Yeah.
Like I really want that to happen to me, but you know, I'm gonna be
No,
patient.
honestly,
I'm gonna be
you just gotta
patient.
keep pushing.
Like I think I'm a complete weirdo. I can't believe I'm gonna say this out loud. because no one knows this, but sometimes when I'm in my room and I'm alone, I pretend I'm having a meet and greet.
Say, I do that all the time. Girl, in the shower, I'm like, nice to meet you guys. Oh my
I'm like,
gosh,
you
thank
want a
you.
picture? Yes, of course. Yes, of course. And then I just pretend that I'm in like a restaurant and I'd be like, oh yeah, hold on, let me just finish chewing. And then I get up and I'm like, oh, of course.
Y'all get a picture.
But okay, stay
I,
safe now. Like
I
it's
do that too.
I'm glad I'm not a weirdo. Like
That's like half my life I spend doing that.
and I don't think it's a bad thing, you know. Like I
No.
even pretend that I'm part of Little Mix. I'll be like, yeah, I'm like
Oh,
a
love Little Mix.
I
They Jesse's leaving the band. You could join it.
I know, but I don't want to get hate for replacing Jessie.
Oh,
Like
that's
I love
true.
Jessie, I could never replace her.
I know.
I'm sad that she's gone, but I'm in a way I'm happy she's gone because I know that she's gonna heal and you know help it's to help her mental health, and I'm happy for her that she's finally gonna be on the mend. But is Little Mix song gonna hit the same without hearing Jessie's voice?
No, it just won't.
It's like there's still Little Mix, and whenever I say Little Mix, I refer to them as the four girls. Like
Yeah.
it will always be the four of them, and it's just crazy how body shamers and haters like affected her so badly. I actually remember on I think it was on X Factor, which is what they were on.
Yeah.
Jessie before I think it was before they won and they were on the show, Jessie was already getting hate. And I remember Talisa actually said to Jessie, like, don't worry about the haters, you know, you're strong, you're where the haters wanna be, like, you know, and it's just really sad to see that she's had to split up and I don't know, it makes
That's
me
all.
really upset.
Yeah.
Do you want to be in a band? Because we can arrange something.
Let's do it. Let's make a quarantine band.
We can
Period.
literally just get anyone that we know and just put a band
Literally.
together.
Period. I'm down. I'm down.
I don't mind doing it. Like we can do it. So we have some fan questions. Your fans, by the way, I don't want to call them fans because I feel like fans isn't a nice word. I want to call them
Like
support.
supporters.
So your supporters are the nicest people I think I've ever come across.
They're so sweet.
So one of them asked, "Where do you want to be in 5 years realistically?"
Well, quite literally, I would love to be in California, instead of being in the cold state of Wisconsin that I'm currently in. Um, but I would like to just be doing what I love. Like, a fear of mine is like, just working in an office all my life. Like, I want to make sure I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. And so I just hope in 5 years maybe I'll have a boyfriend by then. I can hope. And I'll just be happy and doing what I love. Yeah.
Are you like scared about living in LA? Because I hear a lot of people say that it's quite a fake place to live. Like everyone in LA is only in it for the fame, for the money, and like it's hard to make friends. Honestly, I can see you being friends with Emma Chamberlain.
That'd be so cool. No, I know what you mean. Like, it definitely, I feel like LA is pretty toxic as a whole. Like, it's a very, can be a very like competitive environment. I feel like if I lived in California, I'd like to live in like an LA suburb. So like I'm not right in the city, but I'm like I'm where there will be opportunities for me to grow and to change. And but yeah, LA is kind of scary, to be honest. Like,
Have you
just
ever
how
been there?
I've been there once. I was supposed to go and tour universities out there last spring break, but obviously it was canceled. Um, but yeah, I went there once when I was younger and I liked it, but I mean, I was so young, I was just looking at the palm trees. Like, I wasn't even like thinking about people's lives there and how people function there. So I definitely want to go back and take a second look and kind of see what's going on. Yeah.
That's really cool. I don't see myself like moving to the US. Well, I mean, I guess
It's horrible here. Don't.
I just mean because obviously it would be great because LA is like the land of opportunity, as you said. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like it's kind of far. Like I could
Yeah.
move. I guess if I married an American, it would be different. But I don't
Yeah.
know. As of right now, I'm like, if I make it big, I'm just gonna have to stay in London. And like,
Yeah.
it's so weird. Like, I would love to visit LA and see what it's like because I've never been to the US. I've been everywhere else. I've just never come to the US. But
Yeah.
if I did ever come, like, first of all, we need to meet if I ever come. Or if you ever
Period.
come to
We'll meet up.
London, we need to meet. Um, but I just think it's kind of it's cool how you have this vision because right now I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 years. In five
Yeah.
years, I'm gonna be like 25.
That's crazy.
That's really old.
I'll be 22 in 5 years. Oh
That's
my
so.
goodness.
That's why did I say that? That's
It's
crazy. Like,
crazy.
wow. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Do you guys need a passport to fly domestically, like within the different US states? Do you need a passport or do you need like user ID?
No, you can just fly
So
in
you
the
can
to
literally
any of
like
the states in the
you could just be like, here's my driving license, it's actually me, get on a plane and
Yeah,
go.
you just have to have your ticket and like your ID and then you're good to go.
Oh my, I mean, it wouldn't work for me because I'd have to have my passport, but that's actually really cool. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing a lot of Americans don't have passports.
No, I actually well, I the first time I went out of the country, I went to Costa Rica with school, and that was the first time I needed a passport, but I actually went to London a couple years ago. I think it was like 2017 maybe. It might have been 2018, I'm not sure. Um but I went to Scotland first and then I went to Cambridge and London and I wish we knew each other then because I totally would
We
have been
could
like,
have met
let's meet,
up.
but like a year too late. But I wanted to ask you, do you know who Hero Fine Stiffin is?
Is it the guy from After?
I'm like, how does it feel to know you live like in the same place as he lives? He lives in
This is the
London.
this is the thing. For me, it's like, oh, whatever, you know? Because that's
He's
kind of it's like me being like, how do you feel knowing that you've got all these celebrities living in the US with you? It's like the same thing. The only thing is,
yeah, I guess I never thought about it like that.
the only
I literally
difference is his accent. I didn't obviously like when I watched After, but I read the books. In my opinion, I think the books are much better.
yes, for sure.
But when I watched the film, I was like, oh, I don't know about him. And then he opened his mouth and started speaking, and I was like, oh, okay, so he is British. So they got the Harry character correct, fair enough. And then I was like, okay, it's whatever. And then he started talking some more, and I was like, oh, I was like, his accent is really nice. I was like, this is probably what international people think about my accent when they hear me talk. That's like the same reaction that they have. But yeah, Rihanna lives in London as well.
Okay, I'm gonna look like a psychopath, but I literally have like printout pictures of Hero. Like this is literally like how I decorate my room. Like
He was in Harry Potter. I didn't know that.
he was
He was
Tom
the
Riddle.
yeah. I was.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's my favorite.
we love a man who can act it all out.
Period.
That's so crazy. I mean, I don't think I've ever bumped into anyone famous when in London. Have I?
Yeah.
No.
I've never bumped into anyone famous.
I mean,
Not
I've met. I mean, the most famous people I think I've met were Pretty Much, who are a boy band. I don't know if you know them.
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched your video where you like talked about meeting them.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was it was an experience. It
That's
was,
awesome.
yeah. I mean, it was really cool because I was like, oh my god, the first time that I'm meeting someone famous. It was really cool, and I was in a really dark and lonely place at the time, so you know, they made me happy.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
right, another fan says, just tell her she's amazing.
I'm like, you guys are like, everyone is just so nice. Oh my goodness.
I mean, you know what? You radiate a positive vibe. So it only makes sense.
I appreciate like that's like all I could ask for. That's awesome.
Someone says, how do you deal with the stresses of school and work?
I I struggle with it. Like for sure like school. The past couple months have been really stressful with applying to college and doing school on top of that. I think it's just like time management is super important and just like what I bought this whiteboard that's behind me because I was like, you know what, I need like structure to my days. We're all home all the time. Like I want to plan. And like honestly, the simple act of just checking something off makes me feel so good. So I just write down everything I'm gonna have to do in a day, even little things like eat lunch. And then if I can check it off, it just feels good and it makes me want to keep checking things off my list. And so I honestly like to be very specific with my answer, like get a whiteboard or just make checklists every day. And that helps me like want to complete things.
I love that you said get a whiteboard because I have three. I have
I love that.
I have this thing. Wait, I think I have.
That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
bought a new one. Oh my god, I'm gonna stop everything. So it looks like this. My ring light's gonna like make it distorted. It comes in like a pack of three.
Oh, I
Actually,
love that.
you can see them at the back. So can you see them? I don't know if you can see them. Let me just turn my ring light off for a second. There you go. So it comes in a pack of three. Literally the best purchase I think I have ever made in my entire existence of being alive.
That's so cute. Oh my
And
god.
comes with a whiteboard pen, so I don't need to spend extra money getting a whiteboard pen. But I just stuck it down on my desk, and then I'm like, okay, this day I have this assignment due this day, and then I have one that I hang up on my wall that's got my YouTube schedule on it. I'm like,
Nice.
okay, I'm like, okay, tick, 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 okay, great. Like it's great.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I
I love
agree.
it.
If you're watching this and you don't have a whiteboard, go buy one. Someone says,
Yeah.
how did you guys meet? This question actually came up a couple of times.
The YouTube group chat.
Shout out to, I don't even remember
I don't
who
really
made
remember.
it.
No, I don't either. I don't really remember like how it happened. I feel like it was sort of a domino effect where like someone made it and then it just somehow made its way to us and they were like, "Do you want to join this group chat?" I'm like, "Sure." And then through being in the group chat, like I feel like we each found like kind of our people that we wanted to stay in touch with and then
Yeah.
it just kind of like happened from there.
You know what's crazy is that everyone in the group chat was younger than me. Like,
Yeah, it was mainly like really young people.
and I was like, okay, I'm like the oldest or one of the oldest here. Like, this is a bit weird because I don't really have younger friends. But you know
Right.
what? Like, I mean, you're younger than me, but you have a great mentality, which is why I think we get on.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Someone says, how long are you hoping to continue YouTube for?
I hope as long as possible. I would love to. I know there's like mixed opinions about this, but like one day when I like am pregnant, like I want to document that on my YouTube channel. Like I feel like the most like special part of having a YouTube channel is being able to look back and like watch. Like if I'm like, what was middle school like again? I'll just go back and watch videos that I made in middle school. So like I don't know, just like, you know, some people write in journals and that's how they look back. Like for me, it's like my channel. And so, like all the big parts of my life, I really want to document on my channel. And so I hope as long as possible, I'll keep doing it.
I literally love that you said that you can look back because My mentality usually is, oh, if a video doesn't do well, I don't care, because I can look back at it and be like, oh, okay, this is what I look like, and in the future, our kids can be like, oh, I wonder what mom was like, and then you're like, oh, just
Yeah.
2016 Jeehan or 2016 Cora, and then we'll come up, and they're like, oh my god, look how young you were, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Someone just asked what's after. I don't know.
Okay, all my supporters like they know about my obsession, but like I don't really go in depth ever about it. I just I became obsessed because of the books. I read the books before seeing the movie. Was just absolutely obsessed with them, and from then on, I only read that book series. Like I have them next to my bed, and I'll just start over. Like once a month, I'm just like,
Wait,
okay,
are
go
they
back to square one.
an actual book? Because I just read them on Wattpad.
Yeah, let me grab it because so I have so here's the first one and it's like the movie cover. And then I have all the other ones like the normal ones, but they just released like the movie cover for the second book, so I bought it again. With this cover. I like reading them on here because I don't like when the name Harry is used. Like I'd rather, and in the books it's just written as Harden. So
Oh, so wait, are these the book versions? Have they been taken from Wattpad and then they just changed the
yes,
names?
yeah, she wrote them. She took it from Wattpad and then like changed some things, but then changed the names to like not be like Zane, that's Zed, and then Harry is Harden, and yeah, just all that kind of stuff.
I
Yeah.
can't lie. After was probably the first book that I read that was very you know,
It's very it's a little risque,
it's
if you
like
may say.
yeah, definitely not what a 15-year-old girl should have been reading.
No, but I first read it when I was 15. So
Yeah, and I read it multiple times. Like I knew, like even now sometimes like a random bit from the book would be in my head. Like when they'd be arguing, I'd be like, oh.
yeah.
The only thing is that a
Yep.
lot of
Those are the best parts when they're like
they're like fighting.
yeah.
A lot of the OG after readers would know that it was obviously about One Direction. It was a fan fiction about them. But it's just crazy how sometimes I'd refer to Harden as Harry because of habit, because I've read the books first. So when I do that, they're
Yeah.
like, who's Harry? And I'm like, Harry, like the main character, Harry. Like, and they're like, oh, it's Harden. And I'm like, okay, like it's always going to be Harry for me because that's how I read it.
You're like, actually, Harry.
Like I read the book before it made it big. Like I know it's Harry, but it's
Yeah.
I think it's great. It's a
Did
great book.
you did you watch after did you watch After We Collided?
It's not on the UK Netflix yet.
Okay, so it's horrible. It's so bad. Like
Is it?
compare like I thought the first one was bad and now I'm like the first one was great and the second one is so bad. Like these books are so long and so you can't fit that all into an hour and a half movie. So it's like the
Yeah.
most like there's scenes that are good. Like the more raunchy scenes, like those were actually really well done in the second movie. Like those were good. But like other than that, like it was a really bad movie.
Because
I was very disappointed.
I remember when the first one came out and I watched it. I was like, wait, is this the same after of the book that I read? So I clicked and I was like, oh my god, yeah, it is. And I watched it and I was like, wait, but she doesn't find out about the bit until like way into the book. And we're only like
Yeah,
45 minutes in and she's already found out about it. Like, safe to say, I still hate Molly. I don't like Molly.
she's the
Didn't like her
worst.
in the book, didn't like her in the film. Like,
Period.
but it was just crazy. Like, when it came out, I was like, wait, I was like, this is so bad. Like, why would they squash everything into like an hour and a half? Like, I thought when I clicked it, I was like, okay, this film is at least gonna be like 2.5 hours long. And even they didn't even
Yeah.
show that Zayn. Oh, what was his name? Zed, not Zayn. They didn't show that Zed was
Yeah.
Zed. They didn't show that Zed was trying to fight for Tessa.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what's the point in that? And even the marriage between Harry, oh my God, Harden's, um, Harden's stepmom and dad, like that wasn't until like near the end of the book. And I was like, why is it coming so early? So now that you've said that, but apparently they fired Anna and I think someone else,
Yeah.
they changed them. And I was like, they took her idea, made money out of it, and then kicked her to the curb. Someone's asking, your favorite thing about filming?
My favorite thing, well, I guess it's just kind of like what I said before. Like, it's being able to look back at stuff. Like, even in the moment, if I'm like, this is going to be boring for people to watch, I'm like, well, it's not going to be boring for me to watch in 5 years when I'm like, what
Yeah,
was I doing like what was I doing in 2020 during quarantine? Like, I can just look back and watch. And so, yeah, I would say that's my favorite part.
I think even with kids, like when we have kids, they're not going to know about what happened in 2020 until they get to like
No.
school or unless we tell them. And it's like we have live footage of us in the moment. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's one of the nicest things. Like, did you ever make videos that you knew weren't gonna get posted on YouTube? Like when my dad was working abroad, because my dad lived abroad, obviously, so I would make him like these vlogs of what we would do as a family, and then I would just email them to him. Like, do you have videos like that as well?
I don't know if you have like a Mac computer, but if you know like Photo Booth, like the little like app that you could like film yourself just on your desktop, I used to use that all the time, and I literally spent like all my time just sitting on Photo Booth recording myself. And so I have thousands of those, and none of them are on my channel. They were just for me to look back on later. So
That's so cool. I love that. I didn't think that we would have a lot in common because of the age difference, but we have a lot more in common than I thought.
honestly, yeah.
Someone said, "How's your 2020?"
You know, it's you would think that like I would be like, oh, it sucks. But like I've been thinking like obviously it's horrible that we're in a pandemic, like it's awful. But like if not for this quarantine, like I would be a completely different person now. Like I would still be working at my fast food restaurant. I probably wouldn't even have like 1,000 subscribers. I probably would be barely making videos because I didn't really have time because I'm working and doing school. Like life would be so different. And so like instead of focusing on like all the negatives of 2020, like I've just tried to focus on like a lot of good has come out of this year for me, and like I'm just like everything happens for a reason, and I'm just going to be grateful for what this year has taught me.
I love that. I mean, I have got anxiety and stuff. So
Mhm.
lockdown was a blessing in disguise. I didn't need to socialize with anyone, and I could just
Yep.
do what I wanted. And you don't have that fear of posting videos and recording videos because you know that you're not going to go out and see anyone that you know. So I think
Absolutely.
it was definitely a blessing in disguise, and it made me focus a lot on my YouTube because I wasn't really posting on my YouTube before quarantine. Like I would, but it would be really hard. So
Yeah.
I'm proud that we're both growing because my channel has grown quite a lot for me over these past couple of months, and I know yours has, and
It's doing so well.
it's crazy. Like I am proud of the both of us. Like I'm happy that we're going up in followers rather than going down.
Because we didn't give up. Like we kept pushing, both of
Yeah,
us.
and I think that's just the only thing that we have left is like a collab. Like obviously this is like a
Yeah.
collab, but like a different collab. Like that's the one thing that we
We're
haven't
gonna
done.
when Corona's done, we're gonna do an IRL collab. We're gonna meet
Oh,
up
we
in.
need to.
Yep.
um,
Yep.
Someone said the biggest thing you have taken away from having a YouTube channel.
Um, I think I've taken away that the opinion that matters most is the opinion from yourself. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I've just kind of learned that like worrying about what other people think is like the most toxic thing in the world. And like, all you should be worrying about is like what makes you happy and what makes like you motivated. And that has helped me in more aspects than just YouTube. Like, that's helped me in school and sports and honestly just everything.
I think it's important as well, especially considering you said that you were bullied for your YouTube channel and everything. I think that's a really good thing to live by.
Yeah.
You're very wise, by the way. Let me just say, you're very wise.
I've learned a lot over the years, you know.
Someone says, "Are you crushing on anyone?"
I'm actually not. I
That's
feel like
good.
with quarantine, yeah, like with quarantine, like I just, how am I supposed to like meet? I don't know. For me, like I've given up on the hope of finding anyone in my town. Like at my school, like no, like I don't want to date anyone who's there. So I'm just like waiting to go to college and hopefully I'll meet someone there.
What are you planning on? Wait, when you say college, are you talking like university? Because I always get
Yeah.
confused. Okay, so what are you planning on studying at uni?
It depends. I either want to study communications or film. I kind of applied to like both because when you apply to university, you have to like declare what you're going there for.
Mhm.
I'm slowly hearing back. I got a very upsetting rejection yesterday. But you know what? Like everything happens for a reason, and like I have hope that my top school actually I'm going to find out today, and I just have hope that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. Yeah.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will. I mean, I don't know if you're religious, but I am a big believer in God, and I believe that He has a plan for everyone. And if you're a good person,
Yeah.
like, He'll make sure that He will give you what you want.
Yeah. That's how
Um,
I feel right now.
yeah, I mean, you're giving me great vibes, so I know that you've definitely got up your heart. So
Thank you.
someone says the biggest revelation in the past year.
Ooh. Probably just my body. Like I had never been confident in my body until probably May of this year. It was just a revelation of like who cares what I look like. Like the only thing that matters is if I'm happy. And I kind of just realized I was wasting so much time worrying about what I looked like. Like life is just too short to be worrying about those things. And once I stopped doing that, I just found I was 10 times happier.
I love that. And honestly, you literally have a really nice figure. And I'm not
Thank
like
you.
just saying that. Like I genuinely mean it. I've seen your Instagram pictures and I'm like, I wish I had a body like that. Because
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
because like I have a very smaller area, and so
Right.
certain clothes I feel look better on other people rather than on me. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had a body like that.
But you know,
Like I wish.
every like there's certain things that, you know, flatter you that probably wouldn't flatter me. Like, you know, everyone just like has different bodies and everything is going to look different on different people, and as long as you own it and just own how you look and own how outfits look on you, like everything will work out.
I love you, man. That's queen behavior, guys.
Period. And that's on period.
Someone said your favorite beauty product.
Ooh, this is my mascara. It's the Glossier Lash Slick, and I wear it every day, and it's my favorite. It's like not too intense, very natural. Love it.
Are you wearing it now?
I am, but I barely put any on, so you can barely tell.
Yeah, but like you can.
Like you can tell a little bit. I kind of like my eyelashes don't really curl, so like you can usually like barely tell I have mascara on.
Wait, are you wearing any makeup? Because to me it looks like you are.
I'm just wearing mascara, that's it.
I wish I could. Honestly, like you're
I've never
literally.
really had like sorry, I interrupted you.
No, 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 it's okay, you go.
I was just gonna say like I do like my eyebrows usually and like but I'll usually just put like gel on them, but I didn't really have time this morning. But yeah, usually I have like a lot of makeup, but I'm just so lazy. So I never I
Same.
hardly ever like yeah.
I mean, today's the first day I'm wearing eyeliner for like the first time in a
It
while.
looks so good. It looks
Really,
so good.
I cried doing it.
I'm horrible. I'm horrible at eyeliner.
I made an oath that this quarantine I would practice how to do eyeliner because I could never do it. And I have these like that I don't have them here, but they're like these cotton buds and it's in the shape of a triangle so you
Oh,
can literally like just clear it up and it's a big help.
that's so cool. That's awesome.
Someone said, do people at your school know about your YouTube channel? And if so, do they treat you differently because of it? I mean, we kind of answered this, but
Yeah, pretty much what I
is there
sorry, pretty
anyone
much what I said before.
is there anyone who you felt used you for potential clout?
Honestly, yeah, like it happens. It's usually pretty subtle, but it usually happened with me with like people only wanting to hang out in hopes that I would like vlog it. Like people would often be like, "Do you want to hang out?" And I'd be like, "Oh, sure." And they'd be like, "Are you gonna bring your camera or let's make a video?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I don't really like feel like filming today. Like that's not." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then they're just in a bad mood the whole time. And I'm like, "Okay, listen, like." Like I'm not like Emma Chamberlain, like I'm not gonna gain you like 50,000 followers. Like, come on, like can we just hang out and like not worry about it? But overall I've had good experiences, but there's definitely been a couple times where I felt like people were using me for potential gain of followers. Yeah.
It's like you worked hard to get to where you are. Why are they trying to cling on to that? That's not theirs, that's yours. And I mean, it's a good that you actually know what the signs are.
Yeah.
Because anyone gives me an excuse to vlog, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, got my camera right here. Let's just. But sometimes I do get lazy, and I'm like, I can't be bothered to film. Especially like doing
Yeah.
reaction videos, I block film quite a lot of the time, and a lot of the times my videos get like copyrighted and then they get blocked, and then I have to dispute it, and then like literally, I think halfway through last month, I had about 12 videos that managed to get unblocked. And I was like, great, just schedule them all for upload and I don't have to film for a while.
That's so nice.
I was like, I can
Wow.
rest, I can just work on my assignments. And the problem is that I upload 4 days a week. So for 12 videos, yeah.
I can barely do once a week. Like I have trouble doing once a week.
Well, I only manage 4 times a week because they're all reaction videos. So they're a lot easier to edit. I mean, some
Yeah.
videos I managed to do in one take, and then it only takes me like 20 minutes to edit, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. But I'm probably gonna, you know, upload a bit less in 2021. But right now, I
Yeah.
am trying to get my like subscribers up and stuff because that's motivating me at the moment, seeing it go up. So hopefully by next year I'm on 1,000. But I don't know, man.
You got this. You got it.
um, Someone's asking, how did you become so body confident?
Honestly, I feel like it really just came from, well, if the specific answer would be doing Chloe Ting really boosted my confidence because after I did it, I didn't look different. Like my body did not look any different really, and I barely lost any weight, but I had worked so hard and I realized like why on earth would I like criticize my body after doing that hard work for 2 weeks? Like why would I like look in the mirror and be like, "Oh, it didn't work." When I just worked my butt off. Like obviously it worked, like sometimes you just don't see it.
Yeah,
Um and I think that is something just clicked for me, like working out and like gaining confidence, like it's totally a mental thing. Like it's not about a change in your body that's going to make you feel better. Like it's a change of your mental state. Yeah.
Someone says, how do you deal with online bullying and bullying in real life?
Honestly, just remember that like those people are probably like at a bad point in their life and they're taking it out on you. And later they're probably going to feel bad about it. They'll probably be why did I torture this like poor person who like didn't do anything to me? But like, at the end of the day, like you know you the best and like I'm not going to let somebody else tell me like how I should be feeling or I don't know if that makes sense, but like at the end of the day, like you are in control of like your decisions and how you react to things. And honestly, like positivity is so much better than negativity. So I just focus on positive comments, and if I see a negative one, whatever, like I'll just skip it and go on to a positive one.
Has there ever been a comment that's sat in the back of your head, like a negative comment, and then you just think about it the whole time?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think before I was pretty confident in my body, like I would get some comments saying like you're fat, you're ugly, stuff like that. And like obviously like it's very easy to just delete that and I usually would, but like it's hard when you're young and I was probably like 14 seeing those comments or even like 13 and like that, can sit in the back of your mind and you let these random people who you don't even know get in your head, which is just crazy to think about. Yeah.
This is the last question, unfortunately, but someone's
Okay.
asking, what is the weirdest thing that happened to you at school?
Oh, well, I'll tell it here because I don't really care about talking about it anymore. But I did actually get suspended at school. And this was last school year. So about honestly, it was probably like a year from today. It was like mid-December when it happened. And it was actually for vlogging. Which I'm planning on doing like a story time on my channel, like once I'm in college and like out of high school. But like I still talk about it sometimes. At the time, it was like mortifying and like how could I? It was because I made a school vlog, which I had done multiple times in the past, and I didn't realize that was against the rules. It was, and so I did get a full in school suspension, but it's not on my record. They did not put it on my record because I think they felt bad because I was like crying and I was like, "Oh my god, my life's over." And they were like, "Girl, like we're not even putting it on your record. Like you're fine. You just have to face the consequences." And I did, and now it's something I look back and laugh at all the time. Like honestly, it's just so funny to me that like my YouTube channel got me suspended from school.
That's how you know Cora is like a proper, like she's committed. She was willing to get suspended for doing a vlog.
Period.
That's
Period.
so crazy. And you know what? It's unexpected because you don't seem the type of person to get suspended.
Yeah. So like I had to call my parents from school and be like, "So you're gonna get a call soon. I just wanted to let you know before you get that call. I got suspended."
Have you
And they
ever skipped a class or skipped school?
no.
Have
Like
you ever had
literally
detention?
no.
Okay, same. Whew, okay. I mean,
It was
I've
a very
skipped. I have skipped, but we call it bunking here. I don't know what you guys call it. I think you just call it skipping. But I bunked in sixth form, which is year 12. So that's
oh
like,
yeah, that's
I mean, they were
yeah,
all
I never
authorized absences. I got the pass to say that I could leave. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I'd go home, make myself a sandwich, watch a film. Like, it's not like I would skip class and like go shopping. I was like, no, I had a hard time. So I was like, I just don't want to be here. Let me go home.
I definitely had that multiple times where it was like I just really wasn't feeling school that day and I would call my parents and say like I would never just leave. Like I would text my parents and literally say like, "Can you call me out of class? I'm going home." And they'd be
Same.
like, "Okay, we understand." And then I would go home and catch up on homework and watch TV. Like I wasn't, doing bad things. I was just like, sometimes you're just not feeling it and you got to go home.
Yeah. And to be fair, sometimes you get more work done at home than you do at school.
Yeah,
Did you
absolutely.
ever fake being sick at school? Like we had this place called student services, and then you go in and there's like the nurse, and then you go in and I'd be like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I feel really sick. And then they'd be like, okay, I'll be like, hold on, I need the toilet. And then I go to the toilet to throw up. And then I like call my mum and I'm like, hey, mum, um, I don't want to be here right now. So I've told them that I'm not feeling well and I'm going to throw up. So if they call you, just like, vouch for me and be like, oh, she wasn't well this morning. Do you want to send her home? Like, I give permission. And then I'd go back and I'd be like, yeah, I just threw up. And they'll be like, oh, okay. Let's just call your mum. And then they call my mum. Then my mum's always on my side. Yeah, she wasn't well this morning. Like, do you think it's worth sending her home? And they're like, well, what do you think? Mum goes, yeah, you can send her home if she wants to go home. And they'd send me home.
Oh, I love that. I never really did that, I don't think. I used to get really sick all the time, and so I'd always like I'd have to go home sick all the time. But like usually I would our school's open my high school is open campus, so like anyone can like walk out the school at any time. Like no one's gonna stop you and be like, "Where are you going?" And so I would literally just like text my parents, call me out of class, say I'm not feeling good, and I would just walk out the door.
Wait, schools in America don't have like gates around them. That's literally
No,
blows my mind. That's so crazy. Because here in the UK, we have gates around our schools.
that
Like,
sounds like prison.
well, I mean, you guys have the school shooters that then come in because you don't have the gates that protect you. Like, I would think that of all
Yeah,
countries,
yeah.
America would have like gates so that no one could just walk in. But we have gates around our school, mainly for the protection of the students and the staff.
Honestly, I kind of wish we had that because, yeah, I often don't feel safe at school, and I wish like there was something that made me feel safer, and that probably would.
Like like when I heard about it, I was like, actually, yeah, because even in films, the schools, anyone could just walk in and out and
Yeah,
walk around the
you could just
school.
say you're a student. If you have a backpack on, no one's gonna question you. So,
Now here we have like a reception. We have a receptionist that sits at the front of the building, and then you just walk straight in. And then if you're a visitor, they give you like a visitor's pass. Otherwise, if
oh
you're a
yeah,
student, and we actually have school uniform here as well. So for us, it's like
oh yeah,
you can't get away with you know blending in with everyone because you need a
right,
uniform. You guys
right.
actually have to pay for school, right?
It depends. Well, college, yes. So
Yeah, same here.
universities, yeah. Um, But high school for me, if you go to public school, it's free. So like for me, I always went to public school, but there are a lot of private schools that you have to pay a lot of money to go to. Yeah.
Wow. So wait, but at public school, you don't have to wear uniform.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Nope.
For us, we had to wear uniform. So you buy your uniform, but school is free up until the age of 18. It's free. And then we had this thing called Mufti Day, and that's basically where you bring a pound or more if you wanted to bring more for charity, and then you get to wear your own clothes. Thinking about it now, it was a pretty big scam. Pretty big scam, but yeah.
Right.
And actually, I
Right.
hated Mufti days because one, I felt like I didn't have the coolest clothes to wear, and second of all, it was a lot harder to spot your
Yeah.
friends. Like, I know it sounds weird because, yeah,
Yeah, like I felt like that. Like if we had uniforms, like sometimes I feel like if we had uniforms, like I would care less about what I looked like at school. And like I'm always overthinking outfits and stuff. So like if I was like had uniforms, like we wouldn't have to worry about that.
it was definitely cool. Like, we had to wear blazers and stuff. So Honestly, oh my god, the amount of food I would put in my blazer pockets, like literally just in every pocket had food in it. Like it was so nice.
I
Uh,
love that.
but actually, like talking about Mufti Day, it was so much harder to find my friends. It's a lot
Yeah,
easier to spot my friends when we're all wearing the same clothes, as weird as that sounds. Like I
yeah.
don't know how to explain it, but I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't fit in an American school because I'd be like, oh, like I have to wear something different every single day.
It kind of sucks. Yeah.
Do you also have the like? This is what I'm asking based on the films that I've seen. You know, when you have
Yeah.
like the cheerleaders and the jocks, then you have like the nerds, and you've got like,
Yeah.
is it the same?
Um, well, here's the thing. My school, that might be the case for some schools, but personally, my school, the cheerleaders are like not good. And so, like, the cheerleaders, it's not like, oh, those are like all of the like models who like all the football guys like they all get together. Like that's not really the thing at my school, but like at some schools that definitely is what it's like in America, like especially in the South, like in Texas and schools like that, like that's very much what it's like. Yeah.
I can't even imagine that. Like, actually, I can because I've seen it in films. Where do you think I would fit in? Because I don't think I'd fit in anywhere. I'd be with the I'd be by myself in the corner.
Me too. Like I don't know where I would be because like for me at school I just have like three close friends and we just stick together. Like I don't consider myself part of a group. I'm not really like I don't know, but I feel like if me and you went to the same school, we'd just stick together. We'd be at our own lunch table.
Yeah, honestly, because I do play sports. So for me, I might be part of like the jocks, but at the same time, I wouldn't like really hang out with them. Like I'd be like,
Yeah,
okay, I'll
yeah,
see
me
you at
too.
training and at the games, but I'm not gonna hang out with you otherwise. Like I can't do the socializing. Like
Yeah,
yeah, you guys socialize
me.
among yourselves.
Yeah,
Wow, that's so crazy. I think you would fit in really well in a school here.
yeah. I bet I would honestly.
Because literally, you're literally like so chill. I mean, this is the first time we've ever like spoken like this. Like you're literally what I've got from
Right.
you is that you're really chill, and I would be like you'd fit in really well here.
I honestly like watch me move to London. Like I'm coming. I'm on my way.
You can come, but I mean we're in another lockdown now, so I don't I don't know how you're gonna come right now.
Yeah. So I think I don't even know where we're at.
I mean,
We still have an idiot president, so like we nothing's gonna happen until that's fixed. And so, we're just struggling to get by. Yeah.
I honestly I feel so sorry for you guys. I feel so sorry for you guys. I mean, we have Trump's
Uh,
cousin in charge of our country, so it's like it's so
really?
annoying. Well, I don't think they're really cousins, but they have a
Uh,
similar mentality, so I just call them cousins. Honestly, he was literally
I'm
like,
like,
"Oh,"
we need.
he was like, "You guys, um, Christmas Day, you can like socialize, no social distancing. You can." They made it against the law to go out with groups bigger than six, and then they made it another law that you can't mix households. But now on Christmas Day, I guess he's giving coronavirus the day off. He's like, oh,
Oh my God.
you can mingle with each other just for Christmas Day. So we're like, okay, so we all share the virus and then go back to our houses. Like he doesn't have a clue what he's doing.
I bet Trump is gonna do something like that too, to be honest,
But
because
is he
that
still
sounds
in
like something he would
charge?
do.
Is he like? Does he still have power?
Yeah, he is the president until Joe Biden gets inaugurated, which is in January. So he can do what he wants until then. Yeah. He still thinks he won, so I don't. He still thinks he's the president for 4 more years.
I
So
just
I don't know.
it was the fact that he was like, oh, you need to recount the votes. Rec-
I'm like, you just sound like a sore loser. Like, come on.
Honestly, um, okay, I mean we've been on here for like an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm thinking
It
that we
feels like
should
just having a conversation.
Honestly, it does. But I think,
Yeah,
I mean, what time is it there for you?
it is 2:45 p.m.
Wow.
It's very light outside. I haven't eaten lunch yet. Just chilling.
It's almost 9 p.m. here. It's very much dark.
And that's so crazy.
Wow. It's like just as like I'm going to sleep, your day is almost coming to an end, but not quiet.
Right.
I actually this morning I was like, okay, I have an interview today with Cora. I have to interview her, so make sure everything is charged because I don't want anything going wrong. And then I was like, well, what time is it? I was like, oh, it's 9 a.m. here. Okay. Well, it's like 3 a.m. where Cora is, so I don't need to worry about her waking up anytime soon. Like,
Right. I was probably in bed. I was asleep.
that's honestly like, I love this. I am so glad and so honored that you were my first interviewee. I love
I'm so
that.
excited. I'm so glad you invited me.
Thank you so much for doing this. Like, you could have been like, no, sorry.
Girl, I have nothing. Like, I am doing nothing all day. Like, this was the most exciting part of my week.
Like, I'm so glad you feel that way. Honestly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened to me for the past couple of months. Like, thank you so
Okay,
much.
same. Like, literally same.
So I think we're gonna end the interview. So thank you so much. All your social medias, all Cora's social medias will
Thank you
be
for
in the
having
description
me.
below. Honestly, you need to come back in the future. We're gonna make this like a routine thing. Is my screen playing up? Because it's playing up on my side.
Yeah, it's kind of glitching a little bit, but I can still hear you fine.
Okay. So, wow, trust it to glitch right at the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know who you want me to interview next. Please give me their like ats or something so that I can try and contact them. And obviously, if you want to see Cora again, then just subscribe to her channel. You know, all her social medias and her YouTube link will be in the description below as well. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing. This is my outro. I don't even know how it became my outro, but I hope you guys have an amazing morning, night, evening, afternoon, or day, wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.